You agree?
Because I like it, I want
All right.
Yeah, I agree too.
With what disagree?
I mean, I agree with it. I agree with it. Definitely agree with it.
Oh, I definitely agree with it. I love interracial relationships, you know, to glorize the nation.
Well, I agree with it.
Agreed?
I actually say like I would agree with it.
Okay, well, I agree with interracial relationship.
I'm indifferent. So.
Indifferent too. Okay.
Well, my honest opinion is if you want to be with somebody and they are different race than you, go ahead.
So you agree with it, right?
That's what I need.
Firstly, I agree with interracial relationships because they're all around us.
No, I don't think so. We see where love is, I think have no boundaries.
Right.
Have no boundaries, have no boundaries.
Then if you're saying that you agree, well, to me, at least if I'm agreeing that they should be together in the first place, I shouldn't disagree that I shouldn't get married.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so
that would be
there's
like
no
this
groups
entire-
that you think shouldn't come together.
Shouldn't come together. All should be able to, be married based upon how they feel towards each other.
For example, like some people may, even though some people might agree with interracial relationships, when it comes to procreating or marriage, you think certain groups should not come together.
Nah, I think that's absurd actually. I think anybody, I'm a very open-minded person, and I have a lot of friends with different races, different religions, different ethnicities, and I definitely think regardless of what country you come from, what race or ethnicity you are, you should be able to get married, have kids, yeah, anything.
Wrong with it? You understand? Nothing is wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it. Once you love that person, no matter what you will say, you stand by that person. Once you love that person, you will stand by that person forever.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Oh, okay.
Same with me, because as long I don't see what is the difference as long as you love one another. Right.
No. It will be discrimination. And I'm indifferent to it. If Chinese and African, Chinese and Indian, Chinese and Chinese, it doesn't really
It doesn't
affect the
matter.
price of flour.
No, you don't know of anybody.
Yeah. I have a friend, like pure Indian. His name is Christian Sampat, and his girlfriend is like, looks like me.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. If
Indian and more or less Douglas.
Oh yes, my brothers are African
African and Indian.
and
Okay.
Douglas. And Reds and Chinese.
Yes.
Chinese, we have
Chinese and African. Okay.
Yes, my aunt is actually married to someone outside of her race. My aunt is African. And her husband is East Indian.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean a lot of people are Hindu and African.
Okay.
East Indian and African.
East Indian and African.
I live with a white step-parent and a
Okay.
mulatto father, so I understand what interracial relationships is about.
Well, a personal friend of mine, she's Indian, and she has this black boyfriend, and her parents are kicking against it, but the fact of the matter is that she loves him, and she's happy
So
with him.
her parents, the
They
girl
like,
is an Indian.
yeah,
and
and,
her
and
parents
they're
are-
discriminating against the black.
Okay.
You know?
I went to school in a secondary school where the only Chinese girl in my class had an Indian man.
Yes, some members of my family. African and
I met him through a
grew up friends.
Okay.
Growing up and my friend, her brother, he was her brother's friend.
Right.
And I was the girl's friend. So it's like a brother and sister. We were friends with our brother and sister, so that's how we met.
Oh, I get it. All right.
That grew up together. But I didn't grow up with him though.
Right, you grew up with her,
With
but
her.
she is the one.
Yeah.
Met her spouse while she was a student in the University of the West Indies. She never really told me the entire story, but it was more of a love at first sight kind of thing, not like Sleepless in Seattle or the romantic comedy kind of. There was a lot of work, there was a lot of stuff that had to be put down, but in the end, they're now married and have 2 beautiful daughters.
In school? Okay.
Well, I would say school.
They met at school.
I say school here.
Oh, okay.
My stepmother is a doctor, and my father went to be treated
Okay.
at the office, and yeah, they met.
They met that way.
Yeah.
He was her patient.
Yeah.
Well, I use my thing, Shabati. I love that.
Okay.
I happy.
It was his co-worker's cousin had a friend and they met at a lime.
Oh.
But his co-worker invited him to his cousin's friend's lime.
It has become more prevalent because there's that dynamic, because now there's that thinking. It's more of a think outside the box kind of issue. You wouldn't really want to be stuck in these stymies of like being confined to like one race to find that one perfect partner. You would want to go outside. You want to see how you connect with other people, and if that other person just so happens to be another skin color than you.
Yeah, because people back then was open to it. And now the younger generation are a lot more open and wiser.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't go so far as to call it a trend, but I mean, society is changing and I think it's more acceptable. I shouldn't really say that because I still see a lot of videos with like discriminating people against race and thing, but I think it's more acceptable than it used to be back in the day, but I don't think it's like girl trending, like you know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As opposed to like 10 years
For like, especially the Indians, I think they more used to stick to the styles where you see them coming out more.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
I think over the years it has changed. People probably more open and willing to be with somebody else in a different race now compared to a long time.
Yeah.
As opposed to like 5 years ago.
Yeah, because you see, we open up to the modern world now. Right? We open up to the modern world now, with a modern society, that we follow in the modern society.
Actually, no, I think people are more open with it. I think it was always there, but now people are not afraid, they're more open with it. So I think it was always there.
It's hard because in Trinidad, there are a lot of different races, so it's kind of impossible for it not to be.
Since I observed it for about 14 years ago, since I was in college, I've noticed it since then, and I think it's something the newer, the younger type generation of people take part in.
Bullshit, right? People just look for excuses. If you love somebody, you love them.
I don't believe in that. Once you're happy, you're happy.
Oh, okay.
I sort of agree because I don't know why, but growing up, I always liked Farragut. I've mostly dated fair girls, so I can understand what people would say by that. I think the whole basis of these statements are usually primitive.
Yeah.
They aren't as understanding and as open to what society is becoming.
There's a kind of Korean mentality. You know, long time where racism was a big thing. You know, the blacks can mingle with the whites and so on. So, I mean, we're changing every day. So, people are just how to embrace the change that they come.
That's a deep question. I think most people probably think like that because of their religion. I'm not like talking down on anyone's religion per se, but I know like once you grow up with a specific belief and it's like religion based, it's kind of hard to go out of that now. So I think that's probably why some people may not want to, you know, be in a relationship with somebody outside of their race. Not even religion based to it. It's how your family is. Like, like it's just how you're born and raised, honestly. You know, like the beliefs your parents instilled in you. I think most people think a certain way because of how they grew up.
Nah. The way that people make things all about race these days, I find it to be rather idiotic and rather close-minded. Because you can't really go into someone's head and exhibit exhibit that their relationship with someone of the same race is basically okay. You don't know a person's thinking behind why it is they're in an interracial relationship. Reason being, a friend of mine, he's of mixed complexion himself, but what he was saying is he had an experience with people of a certain skin color, and he found that prevalent in most of them where he was. So that kind of closed his mind up to it, and so yeah. So it's not really something that I was okay with, and I kind of pulled him up on it as well and talked to him about it, because even now he's actually with the person of the same skin color that he didn't really like so much.
So what was that about? Alright.
It was, the whole thing with that is he was so obsessed with like those experiences that happened before. He wasn't able to like open his mind to the possibility of other people of that race being the same way as him.
I wouldn't say so. As I said, I think more the thing that not the family really, I think is religion. Religion, because see, every religion have their own ideology, and they tend that if I married a Catholic, if I married a Hindu person, I might do the wrong ideology. Same thing as vice versa.
To me, the reason it don't really make sense, but everybody have their own opinion.
They have a point.
They think they have a point.
They have a point. Yeah, they have a point, because when you have these interracial relationships, yes, it will reduce the one race thing, but at the same time, we are a multiracial country, and it's helping for diversity in the country. So
something I feel is lack of knowledge. Lack of know about somebody's background and where they come from and how they grew up. Because you could be of a white descent, but then you grew up with black people. Have a black woman raise you, so then you'll be more attracted to black people than to white people, because that is who you know. So I think it depends, people not knowing what the other person's background really is about.
Okay.
Definitely. All open fire.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I would be interested in getting involved with somebody out of my race, because as she said, is it's a human race, and we have to learn to love one another. You love somebody for who they are and not for the texture of their hair.
Yeah, because I'm mixed.
You're mixed, alright.
I personally have no problem with it.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm a firm believer in God's race. Race has no place. The only race is the human race.
Well, the amount of time that I've been dating, I've never really dated in my race.
Okay, so you only had interracial relationships.
Yeah. First of all, I had like in preschool, he was black and Chinese, and he was like the cutest thing ever.
Okay.
It's my country. Every creed and race have an equal place.
Love does not discriminate against race, religion. It doesn't discriminate against anything.